So many of us want a business bestie that we can just sit with and shoot the breeze and chat about all things life and work. And I know that some of you have that and some of you don't have that. And so I had a sit down chat with one of my business besties, Erica from Big Cat Creative, and I thought I would share it with you. We talk about all of the things, from mistakes we've made in our business, to markers of success, to what our life looks like outside of work, what our work-life balance looks like or doesn't look like, books and resources and podcasts that we love, all of those things. So if you want a little hangout with a business bestie, I hope you enjoy this chat with Erica. Okay, Erica, so we hang out and chat and WhatsApp
We do.
and hang out in person by pools and talk business and life. So I figured it'd be fun if we kind of did that here. These are some questions which I'm curious about and would love to pick your brain on. So yeah, how's that sound?
That sounds great, but I'm probably gonna ask you all the same questions back.
Well, that's fine. It could be an interview both ways. That's
Okay,
cool.
good. I like
Just
having a
chat.
two-sided conversation.
Yeah, true. Me too. That's a good point. First one. For the sake of like balancing your life and, actually having a life outside of running a business, can you tell me about like what are things or one thing that you are just like, no, I'm not doing that. I refuse. Can be in work, can be in life.
That's a good question because I haven't really, implemented any strict rules in my work-life balance. My life is very simple, like, I don't have kids, I don't really have any major responsibilities, so, like, I do
Maybe that's
probably
your
work a bit
no.
much. Yeah. Yeah, that's my no at the moment, it's, like, any responsibilities that aren't work. So I do sort of, like, work a lot, but I have my business to a place now where I don't have to, like I can't actually go on holiday, and I don't actually have to show up, and my team handles that. So I think that was, like, one of the major things closer to the beginning, because back in the beginning, I was doing everything, or
Are
at
you
least
reachable when you're on a vacation or no?
sometimes, but not
Oh, yeah.
like, sometimes I'll literally be camping in the back of nowhere with no
True.
reception for
Yeah.
a few days. So, I don't have to be reachable, which is great. I've got a team now that can handle that. So I think I don't know if that's, like, really a boundary, but I think that was one major thing that changed at the very like, closer to the beginning of my business, that when that happened, I was like, "Okay, I feel like I can breathe now, and I have more of a work-life balance because I can go on holiday and not actually have to check in," even though, like, I often do just because I want to, because I like my business, but, I don't have to, and I can go hiking with no reception or whatever. Yeah, apart from that, I don't really have any strict rules. I do say no to, like, things I don't wanna do. I think at
Mm.
the beginning of my business, I had a lot of guilt. I mean, I still suffer with this a little bit. It's like have a lot of guilt for, um, not necessarily showing up for things that I don't really wanna do, like and particularly
Mm.
for me, it's like podcasting. I don't really
Yeah.
like doing these sort of videos, but I like doing them with you because we're friends and we just chat. But I don't really like doing interviews
Mm.
or YouTube videos or things where I have to speak. I pretty much have done no podcasts, and I do get invited to do quite a lot of them, but I just like it's kind of my line where I'm like, it's really something I actually low-key hate doing, so I don't wanna do it. Um, so that's sort of my no on that, and I think there's still
Mm.
time to, like, maybe learn to like that stuff, but, I've just decided, like, I don't need to do that, so I don't wanna do it. It's kinda like
That's
you with
cool.
Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's the same thing. True. Interesting. It's very interesting. Now, if we eavesdropped on you for a week and we just were like we're a fly creepily sitting on your wall watching your life, what would we see? What hobbies are you doing? What activities are you doing? And who are you actually spending your time with, like outside of work?
I'm such a hermit in the week. I spend, like, most of my weeks just, like, tip-tapping at my computer. Um, when I'm home, I'm just, like, working,
I'm the
and
same.
yeah, and then I think we are kind of the same like that, like,
Mhm.
when we're at home, we work really hard, and then we
Yep.
go play
And
elsewhere.
do nothing. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so if you were a fly on my wall at home, I'd be here 50% of the time, so you'd be pretty bored, and when I am here, I'm just working. And then I do, like, my morning workout. I've got a reformer, and I do that, and then, the only place I go is I go, rock climbing. That's, like, my only thing I do sort of in the neighborhood. Other than that, I literally have no social life here, and I just work. But then that sounds crazy. But then, like, pretty much every couple of weeks, me and my partner, Neil, will go away, and we'll go mountain biking, we'll go see friends across the country, we'll go camping, we'll go hiking or whatever. So we get out and do things a lot that are away from home, but like day-to-day hobbies, not so much. What about you? I feel like you're like either skiing or you're at home working.
So same thing. It's like when I have a work week, I just go at it and I can work There's no specific boundary of when it starts and when it ends, like, whenever the laptop opens. And that's fine, and I enjoy it because it's like I love to really get into my work, and I love to just go all in on it, and I'm excited by it, so that's totally fine by me. I do take German classes twice a week, so I actually have to leave my house and, like, go to a
Are you
place.
still going to German classes
Yeah,
in person?
yeah,
Oh, you're
mhm.
good.
Well, no, I mean, I go in person for a specific reason. That's because I will absolutely not do it if I don't have a
Yeah.
class. Like, it's like one of those things which, like, yeah, I could probably get ChatGPT to teach me German and I could, like, go
Yeah.
on apps and stuff and
It's not the
whatever.
same.
It just takes such a level of, like, motivation. And if I, coming back to, like, I love my work, if I have time, I'm probably choosing to, like, strategize it for the business or, like, I don't know, do something I like. And so it just never, like, makes it in unless I actually have an appointment to do it. It was the same thing with, like, working out. I, like, booked this, like, I always book, like, reformer classes or something. I don't have a reformer in my house, unfortunately. Also, it actually wouldn't help me. Like, I wouldn't buy one because I know that I wouldn't, it would
Wouldn't use
literally
it.
sit there and collect dust. Because it's
Yeah.
like booking the class and then I've spent money or, like, a hot
Yeah.
yoga. I love that too. Like, booking it makes me go because I have an appointment and a time and a place and I've spent money. And so that's, yeah, what works for me. But then, yeah, I mean, on weekends, we have, so because we have lived in so many places and we have friends all over the world,
Yeah.
people visit us all of the time. Like, we
You're
constantly
the
have guests.
token Europe
I'm like the
destination.
European stop-off destination, and
Yeah.
any friend who knows me or my husband is in the area, they're like, "Hey, we're passing by through,
Yeah.
Europe." Like, we'll stop by, and we're like,
Oh,
"Okay."
that's nice.
Yeah, so we have friends, like, a lot on the weekends, and then skiing all winter. I live in Switzerland now, which is the best ski hills in the world. I I haven't skied everywhere, but I skied in a lot of the world, and I can confidently make that statement. It is the best. Except for the après. The après is better in France, but whatever. I'm actually gonna write a blog post on the best après ski in Europe because I realized I'm an expert on that
You've
topic
done
and
them
actually,
so yeah, that's so
yeah,
good.
yeah.
Oh, cool. I miss that.
Anyways,
I miss
yeah.
après.
So yeah, that and then hiking on the weekends, swimming. Oh my gosh, my husband and I, we got a stand-up paddleboard and we in the summer we take it out. There's so many gorgeous lakes here, and we paddle it out until the
So
middle of the lake
gorgeous.
and jump in, and it's just the most beautiful thing. I need to get a GoPro so I can film it so that, like,
Yes.
people can see how unbelievably beautiful it is. I'm gonna become like a
Oh, I wanna
Switzerland
watch that.
tourism advocate.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
You could be a whole
So
Europe advocate because you've
I
moved in
could.
so many places.
It's true. I know.
I feel like you've done it all.
And then, I mean, going on trips and going home to see my family in Canada, that's also a thing I do. So, but yeah, same as you, is like work week, it's just all in, no boundaries. But then when I go on vacation, I'm like not reachable. Do not message me if I'm on vacation. I will be very annoyed.
Well, that's cool. Like you've got the big boundaries.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
literally, like,
I'll just
delete the app that we, yeah,
really?
and I, like, oh, yeah, like, the app that my team and I communicate in, and, like, I mean, I don't have Gmail on my phone, I'm not logged into any of those things, don't have social
Yeah.
media, don't whatever. I will still check the YouTube, though, because 'cause I'm just kinda
Yeah.
curious and like it.
You just love
So, I will
YouTube.
do that, yeah, I'll still look at that, but
Wait, so
otherwise,
that's like actually crazy boundaries. It's like you have a really good answer to this question. You're like, you delete the apps before you go on
yeah,
holiday?
because, I mean, otherwise,
Good
if I
on
see
you.
there's a notification and someone message me, I, like, can't help
Yeah.
myself to check it, so I have to delete the app.
And I feel like touching on how you don't have Instagram, I feel like that's
Mm.
like a boundary. You're just like, I don't like
Oh,
this.
yeah. No. Mhm.
That's a fun fact about Paige's
I
business.
think everyone knows that about me at this
Surely,
point.
I mean, if
People have
it,
been
yeah,
around
I
my
mean, if
business
you're
for
in
any
my
amount of
audience and you're watching this, yeah,
time.
Paige runs her whole business and doesn't use Instagram. It's crazy to
Bananas.
me. Quite
Yeah.
jealous. I'm sure everyone's like, what? I'm jealous. Oh,
I have
that's
a
cool.
video on that if anyone wants to.
Oh yeah, link it. Like I feel like
Yeah,
everyone
we'll link
watching
that
this
in the
will be like,
description
how do
below.
I not use Instagram?
I need to make another one on it actually because it did really well last year, so I should probably make it like V2.
It's
Okay,
goals.
back to asking, yeah, back to asking you questions. Some people judge success by like amount of money stashed in their bank account. Other people judge it by, I don't know, other things, happiness in their family life and whatever. What do you, and like genuinely, is there some goal to you that is like, oh, I want to reach that because that is success? Or I don't know, what is your
Mm.
marker of success?
I think it's like changed during my business and like since I've gotten older. When I initially started, my marker for success was like to be able to make enough money to live. And then once I hit that comfortably, that goalpost moved. And it was like, okay, I want to actually, for me, it was like, I wanted to make enough money to buy a house. And so then that was like a big goal of mine. And then I was really working towards that. And that was sort of my big motivation. And then I bought my house and I was very satisfied after that. I was like, okay, well, now what? Now I need like a goal. I think like as you get older, you get more responsibilities and you start, especially, in your mid 30s, you're like, okay, well, I actually don't have that much of my working life left, especially if I want to like maybe retire a bit early. So now for me, it's like I want to make sure I'm set up so that I can retire early if I need to or if I want to, or that if I have a kid, I can like my business can run a lot without me. So not just setting the business up to run without me, but also having other forms of income. That thinking about like the longevity of my business, and just like really future planning in that sort of way. So that's sort of my motivation at the moment and my marker for success. I feel successful right now because I have everything I want, I have everything I need, and I live very comfortably. And that is like for me, that's the marker of success. So I feel successful. I don't feel like I'm striving to make more money. The only reason I would maybe want to make more money is so that I'm really making sure that I'm financially secure in case I lost my business tomorrow. But in
Mhm.
terms of like day to day, I feel very like content actually at this point.
Mhm.
So it's really sort of just about like future planning now.
Yeah.
But that's like sort of and for me, like the reason I feel content and the marker for success there is that, like I said, I have enough money to live comfortably, but also I take a lot of time off. I don't
Mhm.
work full time. I probably work. I mean, some weeks I work overtime, and some weeks I don't work at all. So it's hard to know. But like I have that work life balance, which I love. My partner works for himself too, so that means we can just like go and do things whenever we want. We don't have any sort of time restrictions. We can travel. So that is like a big thing for me. I think if I didn't have that, but I had the money, it wouldn't be the same. So I think having that freedom
That's a
is
good
like
point.
a huge marker of like success for me. That is like the most, I don't know, it's like worth so much. What
Mhm.
about you? What are
I like
your
how you
things?
Yeah, I guess it was similar. I mean, similar journey through like, okay, I want to make enough to live, and then it's like, okay, want to buy a house. Then I sold the house. um,
Yeah.
realized it wasn't in the right country. Um,
Yeah.
then,
Oh,
but anyways,
shit.
and then same thing. It's like making sure that financially I'm doing intelligent things with the money, so that it's not like I'm just blowing it on whatever. And then getting down the road and being like, oh, I actually wish. So yeah, same thing. And I mean, it's interesting because for both of us, like we both clearly love the work that we do. So obviously, like both of our goal is the same thing. It's like, okay, make enough that you can retire early. And then it's like make work optional, basically, is the goal. I was having a chat with a guy at a ski trip, business ski trip last week, and he had definitely like hit and surpassed his financial freedom number. And was talking to him about like, oh, do I like about reaching that and everything. And he's like, it allows you to have such a different way of approaching. And I do think about that. I'm like, there are still things which I do, which I'm like, I don't really want to. And it's like, if I had hit the number, would I still be doing those things? Again, I
Yeah.
love 90% of what I do, but there is still 10%
Yeah.
where I'm like,
Oh, yeah, maybe like 15%.
yeah, 15, 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that I think there would be some change in like how I would run things if I was like, doesn't matter. And I figured out I used ChatGPT to figure out the actual like calculation and number
Have
and
you?
everything. Yeah, it's so helpful. So I would definitely
Cool. Well, like
recommend
with your
because you
investments and stuff?
exactly, yeah. So it's like you work out with it like, okay, if I want this much per month to be able to live off of, then how much and also because, like, depending on the age at which you hit it, then it changes and everything, and so
Yes.
anyways, but we worked out roughly. And then, I mean, when
Cool.
I actually get close to the number, I'll go take to a financial advisor and be like, "Make sure this is right."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's like, for now, I know,
'Cause
like,
I
use it
just
for
my
the
financial advisor is ChatGPT right now, so
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
that's cool. I've done those
Yeah,
calculations before too. They're somewhere.
mhm. They're
I don't
somewhere.
remember I don't remember where
Yeah.
they are, but
Yeah. I started I think the biggest game changer last year, I took the time to do it. I swear it took me like 4 days straight to actually make this, but I made this like fancy Google Sheet thing, which is like very specific to me, and it helps me figure out like, okay, if you keep investing like whatever per month, then like it keeps growing, and then what that turns into and when you hit the goal. And it was so motivating. Like nothing has been as motivating to like save and invest your money as that. And so every time I'm like, nope, don't need that dress. It's
yeah,
going into the investment
it's
account.
going
Like it's
into the investment
exciting to
account.
do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you need to send me that spreadsheet.
okay.
Yeah, I need
Yeah,
to
no,
do that.
love that. Okay, I would love to also hear, what does your team look like? Let's talk about home. That's the one which I'm actually more interested in.
Okay.
What things are you, if anything, are you not doing or someone else is doing or
Like, in
else doing?
my home life.
Like, are you outsourcing, like, do you get grocery delivery
Yeah.
or are you doing, like, full, like, meal kits like HelloFresh? Or are you getting, like, a personal chef to make your food? Or are you hiring a cleaner or
Yeah, it's a
whatever?
good question. It's a good question because I feel like I've experimented with all these things.
Mm,
I've tried getting a cleaner in the past. I've tried the meals and stuff like that. When usually over like really busy periods of my work where I've just felt like, oh my God, the last thing I can do now is clean. But I haven't done that in a little while. And I felt like I always went back to sort of doing it myself. I think if I had kids, I would definitely hire a cleaner and probably get someone to cook more meals. I'm very fussy with my food, so like having someone else cook
yeah,
for me is a
true.
bit it's a bit hard. Even Neil's like, you want me to cook for you, but like I literally don't know what you can eat. So it's like so hard. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. And I actually quite like at the end of the day, closing my laptop and going to the kitchen, like putting on my audiobook and just cooking a meal. So I feel like actually it's kind of good to do that stuff for me because it breaks up those long stints of work. Don't love cleaning, but to be honest, I've
Mhm.
had very bad experience with cleaners.
Yeah, okay.
Like really bad. So I'm just kind of like off
Mhm.
the cleaning for a while. I get grocery, like I order online. It's pretty much delivery. We just pick it up at the place because it's way cheaper to do that, but I order it all online, so it's easy. That's a big time saver. I do most of the stuff around home myself, honestly, and Neil
Mhm.
does all like the
Handy.
uh, yeah, he does all the handy stuff. He does all the lawns and the house maintenance and stuff, and I do all the cooking and cleaning, and it's very,
Oh, good.
very traditional and boring. But I think generally I like to do it. I think it like forces me to stop working for a while and do something. And I also feel like it's a nice excuse to listen to my book because I often feel like sitting down and reading a book, I don't feel like I'm really being productive enough or like getting exercise because I sit down at my desk all day. So if I'm like, okay, I want to listen to my book, what can I do? Well, I can clean and
Yeah,
listen to my book. So
fair.
I feel like I get to enjoy it a little bit. That's been actually a big game changer in getting chores done is like having something really good to listen to.
Oh my god, yeah. Mhm.
It makes such a big difference.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's not boring. Like I've definitely tried in the past. I've been like, financially, it makes way more sense to like buy this food or get a cleaner
Mm.
but I've just ended up going back and doing it myself. So,
Oh,
um,
that's interesting.
I don't know. I feel like it's maybe like a good break from my work to
Yeah.
force me to like stop and do something else and move
No,
around.
that makes sense. That's
What
good.
about you? What do you I know that you've hired cleaner as well.
Yeah, yeah, we've definitely had cleaners in the past, and that's heaven. In London, we actually there was, like, a laundry service, but they don't have that here, unfortunately. But there was a laundry service because our little teeny tiny, like, washer/dryer, slash dryer, the awful. It was like it's a London apartment, it was in your
Yeah.
kitchen, it was not convenient,
No.
and it, like, wouldn't clean anything, and so anyways, we found this laundry service, it was heaven. They would
Yeah.
pick up all your laundry, go wash it, bring it back the next day, cleaned and folded, and I was like, "Heaven."
That's
Um,
nice.
yeah, that was really good. Also in Bali, same thing. It's like
Yeah.
that's I think you drop it off yourself to pick it up, but again, you would just it was on your way between, like, villa and co-working space, so it was just
Yeah.
amazing.
That's cool. I think that, like, maybe some people are watching this and they're like, "Oh my god, that sounds like a rich person thing to do, like, there's no way I'm ever gonna hire that out." But if you think about if you're in a business, you're spending, like let's say you spend $50 on a contractor to do something, why would you not spend $50 on a cleaner to clean your house when you could be earning way more an hour as, like, the main person who does it? So I feel like when you're in this business mindset and you start hiring people, you think like, okay, well, what else can I hire out? Because if I can hire out the cleaning, like I can make more money doing something else.
It's also I think that's the thing, which that's the other thing to keep in mind is you could hire someone in your business. Like, that's the other thing is, like, you could hire someone in your business and that, again, figure out, like, what dollar, per hour is that's gonna cost you. Or you could also figure out, okay, well, I as a person, like, just evaluate your entire like, not just your work time, but also your, like, lifetime, and then figure out what you're doing. If you're like, "I freaking hate cleaning or
Yeah.
cooking or whatever, or
And I
grocery
spend
shopping."
5 hours doing it a week.
Exactly. Then that's also just as reasonable to hire that out as it is something in your business. If again, like it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter where the hours are coming from. If you're like, I'm happy to go spend that time working, then amazing.
Yeah. It's basically just like hiring someone.
The other thing which I found recently is fully cooked, healthy meals. And I was like, oh baby, best thing ever. So we've done HelloFresh for years and I love HelloFresh. But even still, there was a few nights where I was like, I just don't even have time to cook this.
They take so long. They take
It
so
depends on
long.
the recipe. I really find that
Yeah, I
I
guess so.
also coming back to enjoying, like, I really enjoy to make them
Yeah.
too. But I don't know, sometimes, especially like lunch or something, I'm like, I can hardly
Yeah.
function and like
No, you
shower.
can't be
So
cooking a
no.
hell like reading
Yep.
instructions after a lunch.
No. Exactly. Yep. So I still use like we'll use HelloFresh now and again, especially if we have like people over and stuff. Like I'm not going to serve someone
Yeah.
something. Like if we have guests, I'm not going to serve
Yeah.
someone. Even though it genuinely tastes really good, I'm like I could not take a microwaved meal and put it in front of someone. That would just
No, yeah, yeah.
I can't do that. But yeah, we found this cooking service because I was literally thinking, I was like, I wonder if there's someone who could like come to the house and like, I don't know, just make batch cook a week's worth of food or something. But anyways, we ended up finding this like, I think it's for like fitness bros. Because the guy on the it all talks about like the amount of protein and it's like super fitness looking guy on like the homepage. Yeah, it's super healthy. It's and genuinely super healthy that our my husband's cousin's nutritionist, she looked at it, she's like, "Yep, that's really good." So we do that, and so cooking takes
That's
no time
nice.
now, which is amazing. So and
That's really great. I
yeah,
have
my husband
like
does laundry. He's a lot better at than I am.
I feel like Florian's like a good little
He's really great.
it's a good house fairy.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's kind of and he's also like sometimes he goes around, he's like, "Man, you're useless in a household." But he's
You're
like,
like, yeah,
"But
but
you're
I'm
good at
making
running a
money.
business." Like, I run a good business, so that's I think also if I actually like, let me say this, I think if my full-time thing was that, then,
Yeah.
like, my brain is just always somewhere else and it's not on what's happening in
Yeah.
the house really, and so I think that's the thing. It's like, if I didn't have the business, I probably would be a bit more capable in our household.
Yeah. I feel like you only have so
Mhm.
much brain capacity, you know?
Exactly,
And it's
yeah,
just gonna
so
goes in
remembering
one
to take the
place. So.
laundry out of the basement is, like, not something that is happening. This is the one which I really wanna know. You have a level of chill that is exceptional. And I'm wondering, like, is this natural? Where does this come from? Is this just a Kiwi thing? Like, tell me.
I don't think I have a level of chill. I
You
think you
do.
have a level of
No.
stress. I feel like me and Paige are so similar in so many ways, but this is
But not
where we
this.
differ a little bit. I don't know. My
Yeah.
family's always said I was pretty chill. I think I'm pretty averagely chill for most people I know here. So I think it's maybe a sort of
Okay.
New Zealand thing. Like
Mm.
Neil is like 10 times more chill than me. So I don't know how we get anything done. Like I'm chill, but I get shit done, but I don't really stress over things
Yeah,
much.
that's the thing. That's the difference. Is like you get stuff done, but you do not stress over the thing.
Mm,
I feel like.
I'm not like an overthinker too
Yeah.
much. I don't know, but then like I think I am, but then I meet you and you're the only person that tells me this that like that I'm
Really?
chill. Yeah. I don't think
I think
anyone
you
else
just need
thinks I'm
to
that chill.
meet more international people who are not. I
Maybe.
think that's it.
Yeah, I think maybe it's a New Zealand thing. Yeah, so if you guys just want to just like de-stress, just move here and you know,
Well,
it'll just I don't know, change you.
okay. That's good to know. I need to visit New Zealand and then I'll find out. I'll do an evaluation.
But actually, I think that is like a thing. Like when you go to small islands and stuff, the pace is slow. People are way less stressed.
Yeah.
Like I've noticed that about even smaller countries in New Zealand. Like you're going to
Mm.
the islands or whatever, and people are just
Island
like,
vibes, yeah.
they just have no desire to get anything done. They're just like,
Yeah.
we're just chilling. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, this is a nice pace of life. It drives
I
me
know.
crazy.
I know,
I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
let's
That's
move
what
it, people.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
Yep. That happened to me actually in Mississippi. I noticed the same thing. It was the people were so chilled out. And I was like, you want to get something administratively done? It's like, no, it'll happen what'll happen. And I'm like, I need my transcript to like, I don't know, graduate. um, but I had to learn like the first year I was there, I was very annoyed by it. And then by year two, I was like, I can't keep being annoyed by this. Like, this is
Yeah.
not, I'm the only one getting upset and they're
Yeah,
not
yeah,
getting
yeah.
upset.
No, they don't
So
care.
I just need to like just do the Mississippi way and be chilled out. And it definitely, I felt better the second year.
What is Florian like? Because I feel like Neil makes me more chill. Like if I was with
Um,
someone who was high stress, I would probably be a bit more high stress. Like I
yeah,
feel
I
like
think I'm really
I have the tendencies that I could probably get there.
Yeah, I think he's really it depends on the topic, which I'd never even say his name on the channel actually, so by the way, he's my husband. Yeah, it depends on the topic as to what he's chill on and not chill on. And I feel like the good thing about us is that we're chill and not chill on different topics. He is not chill on his health, and so that whereas I'm not concerned.
Was
And
he like a
so,
hypochondriac?
yes, big time. Absolutely. We actually wanted to go on vacation and I wanted to go to the Maldives. And he was like, "Oh, no, I Googled and like I don't know, healthcare, like you're on this little teeny tiny island. And so if you like there's a problem, you have to like get to like a bigger island or whatever." And I was like, "You're not 50 on your sixth heart attack. Like, why are you so worried about the healthcare?"
He's like he's like the epitome of health, I feel. He's
I
like
know.
he's like healthy young man.
I know. Very worried
That's
about his heart
really
attacks,
funny.
apparently. So we're not going to the Maldives. We're going to Mauritius now. So, 'cause
Oh,
apparently their
Brian.
healthcare is better. So
Oh, that's so funny. It's honestly not something I've never considered when traveling somewhere
I
is
know.
like what the healthcare is
Same.
like. But hey,
Same.
like that might pan out one day.
Yep. Anyways.
Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, yeah.
He's just got shaded on your YouTube channel, by the way. So I'm gonna tell him.
It's fine. Yeah, I wouldn't watch it otherwise, so I'm sure. Okay. Tell me about your favorite like resources, books, podcasts, etc. that you listen to, pay attention to, read when it comes to like business building things.
I've been through so many different phases of what I like to listen to. When I first started my business, I was just like personal development books,
Mm,
podcasts. I can barely even remember the ones I listened to back then. That was like 2017. I don't know. So it was
mhm,
like a long time ago. And honestly, I feel like I've just stopped consuming any of that content in the last couple of years, which has been fun. So now I just listen to like fiction books and read fiction books and watch absolute crap on YouTube. And I don't listen to a lot of business stuff. I still
mm,
like on occasion tune into like a Janet Kutcher podcast or like an
mm,
Amy Porterfield podcast. If there's something specific that I'm
mm,
really vibing with, I'm like, if I know I want to take my business in a certain direction, then I'll specifically look, or like something that I specifically want to
mm,
learn, I will look for podcasts, or I'll often reach out to you because I feel like
mm,
you are so in the world of like you've read all the books, you listen to all the podcasts, you're so much better than me at that. And I used to love that stuff, and I still do like it if I'm like specifically
mm.
wanting to learn
Need
something.
it.
But otherwise, I'm just like not interested anymore. I'm like, I just want to
Eh,
listen to like fictional stuff, and I just want to like not think about business unless
yeah.
I'm doing it.
Okay, give us a great fiction book recommendation.
Okay, well, I'm really into my romantasy like everyone else at the moment. So if you like to read about literary fairies and dragons, I've just finished Onyx Storm, which is like the
Mm,
third installment of this really cool series. But I bet you so many people will know about it because it's like bigger than Harry Potter. It's a big
really?
book. Well, I don't know if
I've
it's
literally
bigger
never
than
even
Harry
heard of
Potter,
it.
but it's like, yeah, they're making it into like a Netflix show.
Oh.
So Netflix, Amazon. I don't know who's
One
picked
of
it
the
up,
2.
but yeah. So like, there's a big crazy world. I'm currently also reading Red Rising. It's like another fantasy book. So yeah, just like, and then I just watch crap on YouTube, and at the moment I'm watching a lot of climbing videos about like people climbing big, rock walls and inspirational sports, stuff like that. Just stuff that's very much not business related. I watch a lot of like, at the moment I'm really into like music production. So I'm watching a lot of like people producing music on YouTube.
Random.
Just like very random, but this year it's been like, I feel like this year in particular, I've like picked up hobbies that I had like really put
Previous.
aside. Yeah. And
Mm,
for so long in my business, I was like, I really need to get back into my hobbies. I'd always say that, like, I really need some hobbies because my only hobby is business. But then I'd try and I'd be like, I just don't want to do this. All I want to do is work on my
mm,
business. And then I feel
mm,
like suddenly in the last year, I've been like, oh, I actually want to do these hobbies and I don't
mm,
always just want to do business. So that has like been a bit of a transition for me. So
mm,
definitely getting more into like the reading for fun. I'm making music again and playing my guitar, going
mm,
climbing and doing things I actually want to do and I actually want to do them,
mm.
which is the big change because usually I'd be like,
Yep.
just gonna go back and work on my business.
Mm.
So consuming content around my hobbies and doing a few little hobby things while I'm not working, which isn't, I don't dedicate a ton of time to it, but more than I
Mm.
used to.
Cool. Okay, that's really
Yeah,
interesting.
so like literally like no business stuff. Wait, now you go
That's
because
fine
I
though.
feel like you're gonna be like business, 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 business.
No, okay, yeah. I also agree with you in that I kind of consume things when I need that specific advice or piece of content, if that makes sense. So I
Yeah.
guess though the thing which I really enjoy is the Diary of a CEO podcast. It's just like super long form interviews with I don't know,
I need to get into that. I
interesting
feel like I
people.
would
It's
enjoy that.
really good. Yeah. And sometimes like even he had one with this Sporty Spice and that was fascinating. So sometimes I listen to the business ones or the health ones or the just like interviews with interesting people like SQUARESPACE. So yeah, really like that. And that's kind of like just enjoyment. I'm really into this like long form podcast situation. It's
Yeah.
really, and same thing. It's like, that's what I listen to when I'm, I don't know, driving somewhere. Then in terms of, okay, so we're actually doing tomorrow, we're going on vacation for a week and we are doing Bill Gates's Think Week, which I'm so excited for. Have you heard of that?
Well, no, you said it to me earlier, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but you need to tell me more about it.
Okay. So there was a Netflix series like in Bill's brain or something. And I noticed, and so he talks about what he does. He goes on a vacation to a little like hut in the middle of nowhere. I don't know if it is internet. Probably not. I'm not sure. Basically, the goal is like disconnect from everything and just go and like read and think and like, I don't know, just take some time because it's something that so often it's like you want to take time for that, but you just don't get enough time. And so I definitely feel like that. Like in the evenings, we will just like sit and read a book or because I love YouTube, I'll also watch some YouTube. But I do still feel like, oh, there's so much more that I want to read, which I haven't gotten around to. So, but I do find that the business books which I'm reading are even changing as well. It's not so much the like how to grow the business situation, unless I specifically need something. I literally read .com Secrets by Russell Brunson a couple weeks ago. And I was
Just to
like,
set up your funnel.
yeah, just to set up my funnel. And I was like, how have I not read this before? This
I
book
think
is
I've even read that
so
one.
good. Okay, yeah.
It was really impressive.
It was good.
I read
Yeah.
it a long time ago, but I didn't actually do anything. I just read it and then forgot all about
Okay,
it.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like if you don't need the thing at the time,
Yeah.
then yeah, it's not very useful. But anyway, so I needed it right now. So I was like, okay, cool. We're making a funnel. I should read the book. So I got the book. And yeah, there was many great nuggets of information, which even having run a business and doing internet marketing for how long now, I definitely learned some stuff. But anyways, the other books which I have for next week, I bought The 5 Temptations of a CEO, The Eighth
Never heard of
Habit, From Effectiveness to Greatness. That's the guy who wrote The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Oh yeah.
Let My People Go Surfing. That is the book from the guy who started Patagonia about how he runs a business in like a very different way. I
Cool.
got The Effective Executive, The Definitive Guide to Getting the Right Things Done. Perennial Seller, The Art of Making a Marketing Work That Lasts. 1 Million Followers, How I Built a Massive Social Following in 30 Days. I got Principles from Ray Dalio, bunch of stuff like that.
That sounds like,
Very nerdy.
yeah, but I can like I get it. Just like not where I'm at in my life right now, but I was
Yeah.
definitely there, and I feel like I'll come back.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
there's
it's fine.
like, I feel like I would read a whole book and there would be like 1 or 2 like really, really good points. But then I just feel like I would always forget them. Like I could probably go back and read all the books that I read at the beginning of business and I wouldn't remember any of them. Like I have the worst short-term memory. So it doesn't really digest, like, but yeah, cool. Well, I think that's like amazing that you're doing that. That sounds terrifying to me to like go to a cabin for a week and like just be alone with my thoughts. But if I did have books, that would be okay. But I would definitely
Yeah.
bring like a big fantasy book. That's what I would work on for the week.
That's fine. Actually, I had a friend who got me for my birthday. She got me some sort of like nonfiction book, and she's like, "I know you're doing the Think Week thing, so like, here's a book for your birthday." And she got
Do
me
you know
some
what
sort of
it is?
fantasy book. I don't remember. I don't know.
What does it look like?
I don't know.
I bet you I know what it is.
Probably. I'll send you a photo after. I have 2 more for you.
Okay.
I feel like the last one's gonna be really interesting. So if you're watching, stay tuned. Social media. We've talked about this before. How do you feel about social? How do you feel about it as a marketing tool for your business? How do you feel about being on it? Is your team just doing it or?
I don't like it. Period. I don't like it. I don't like to do it. I don't like to post. Like, I hate that now to run a business, you have to be like a personal brand. So I'm resentful about that because I just want to run a business. I don't want to run a personal brand business.
I think it's still possible though, but
I think it's still possible, but like, it's like getting harder, I feel.
yeah. Okay.
Especially for small businesses, I feel like just so much of it is like all the advice is like, I mean, it's possible, but I'm sure like you can do better if you bring more of your personality into things. And I think that's like becoming more and more apparent now with like all the AI stuff. I think it's only going to get more and more significant. It's like if you bring your personality into something, people are going to connect more, especially if you're using social media. It's like, social media is just like all about like connection now. I wish I didn't have to do it. That's pretty much my thoughts on social media. No, I like there's cool things about it, but honestly, I don't go on it personally really a lot,
Mm,
because I feel like just fatigued from it from business. I don't have a
mm,
personal Instagram. I haven't basically since I started my business because I was like, oh my god, 2 Instagrams is too much to handle.
yeah. Hmm.
Um, Facebook is like literally just trash. Like who uses Facebook? You just go in there and it's just ads. I love TikTok, but I don't go on it because it's so addictive. But I do like if I need a laugh, I love a bit of TikTok. But I don't really like enjoy scrolling that much. I'd rather like read a book or watch something on YouTube. And for business, it's like mostly my team. Like I try and get my team to do as much of it as possible, and then I will like batch film stuff so I can be a big part of showing up on there. But I don't like. I think the one key thing missing for like showing up is like me coming on stories every day and like making more of a connection that way. But that just drains me so much. And when I think about doing that, I just feel fatigued and I just want to like be by myself in my office and I don't want to have to put my life out there. I mean, one, it's boring because I literally just sit here all day. But I don't even take photos for my own personal use. Like I'm useless. So I'm not going to get my phone out and document it and share it with a bunch of people
Yeah.
because I don't want people to know what I'm doing. I just want to have a nice private life. So I hate that part of it. But in saying that, like I do consume other people's content that do that. So I understand like
Mm,
why you feel so connected with someone and why it's such a great
mm,
strategy to like sell stuff and create an audience, because I buy into other people that do that all the time. Yeah, I don't that's the biggest thing about social media I don't like. I do
mm.
like some people create some really cool stuff on social media and so there are some cool things about it, but I don't
That
know,
makes sense.
kind of would probably be happy if I just like didn't have to do it at all because I
Mm.
prefer just like the businessy stuff and not the putting myself out
Marketing.
there. Yeah,
Yeah.
marketing stuff. What about you?
Hmm.
I mean, obviously you're anti Instagram.
Yeah, I don't like to be on any social media. I don't like posting on it. I don't like having it on my phone. I just like observing my own self when I've had it. It's like, I don't like this. Like, why am I doing this? I do have a personal Instagram, which I've posted on once in the past like 4 or 5 years. I think posted our vacation last summer to Greece. That was it. I'm not a fan of being on it. I know the statistics and the research and everything is coming out
Yeah.
now, and it's not a pretty picture. And so
No.
I'm pretty aware of that. So, and I kind of
And
was
like you
aware,
said,
like I
like
was personally aware of that before the stats came out, even.
yeah,
So,
because you know, like you said, like you know
mm,
what you're like with it and with what you're like without
yeah,
it. I definitely
yeah,
feel like when we go away and I don't have any reception, which seems to be quite a lot of the time, and I just don't use search, like I don't miss it at all. I just like don't have the
mm,
option to use it or go on it.
mhm,
And I'm like, a happier person?
mhm.
Dare I say? Yeah, like you just get on there and you're just like, yeah, comparison.
Yeah.
I'm so ugly. My life sucks. So it's like it's just toxic. It's so
I'm
toxic. But
even so that's interesting. Okay, well, I think I definitely had some like business comparison of being on it, but that's one thing which is interesting is like I built a business from like a very young age. And so I don't feel behind in life at all. And I don't feel, I don't know, any problems in that sense. And I
no,
think
I
that
don't
is a
like when I see
huge
people on
problem for
vacation and
people
stuff. I'm
often.
like, yeah,
Yeah, exactly. It's
like the
like I'm
FOMO. I don't
not
really get
actually
that.
jealous of someone's vacation
Yeah,
because I take plenty and enjoy them and I don't know. So
yeah,
it's not that so much, but I think it's just the being insulated from like all these like business trends and I hate
yeah,
that. That's one thing which I hate on social media is
yeah. It's
like
like you got to do this now, and then tomorrow you're like, no,
exactly.
now we're doing this, and then the next day you're like, now we're doing this, and you're like, actually, I don't have to do any of that.
Yeah,
Because like,
exactly.
and
No.
it's so much worse than it used to be. Like it's
Mm.
like people are just like screaming at you and they're like, "You're doing this wrong," just trying to get
Ugh.
the views, you know. And it's like,
Ugh.
all right, it's like it's a lot, but it's the only way to get attention on social media, so everyone does it. I don't know.
Ugh.
It's very
That's
toxic.
awful.
It'd be
Yeah, it's
interesting
very
to see what
toxic.
happens, but
Yeah.
you're doing the right thing by not being on it.
I mean,
No
there
one
has
is
been
following
times where
yet, but we all
I'm
should
sure it'll
be.
happen. I'm sure it'll happen. No
Yeah,
question. That's something which more and more I've been asked about, which I've been off social media for a few years now, business wise. But
yeah.
specifically this year, last 12 months, I've noticed more and more people are like, how are you doing this? How can I do that? So I
It's
think
become like
it's,
I feel like in the last couple of years, like with the reels, and
mm,
like it's gotten way worse because people are literally just yelling at you. Like,
mm,
like I mean that literally. Like people are just telling you what to do. And just like
oh,
the short form videos are just like they're
ugh,
just they're a bit toxic. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah, I don't know. And then the comparison is just I don't know.
huge. Yeah.
It's just it's a lot. It's a big, heavy input.
And my husband, he's a teacher. And so he sees kids and like,
Mm, that's bad, eh? It's
yeah,
like a
I'm
whole
nervous, like,
can
when
of
we have
worms.
children, I'm like, I hope by the time that we have kids and they're old enough to have social media, that it's become like the world has all collectively realized like we should not give this to 10-year-olds, for example, because that's the problem is like parents who don't want their kids to have it, it's all the other kids have it. They're the only one in their class who does it,
Exactly.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so then it's like, okay, well, we have to. And that's clearly not great.
They've actually, I think in Australia and hopefully New Zealand will follow suit. They've just made it illegal for kids, I think under 16 to have social media, which is great. I think 16 might be 14. Yeah, something like that. So fingers crossed that's like a trend that happens because
That'd be
like I
good.
know if I had that when I was that young,
Oh, yeah.
you just regret the stuff you post anyway. You did an adult and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I was posting that.
Yeah. Let alone if you're
Anyway.
13. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Uh,
Last one and the best one. Mistakes made in business or a mistake you've made in business.
This is a good question, but like I mean, what top of mind initially is the hiring issues that I've had pretty much throughout my whole business, but particularly the big one was last year. I actually made like a whole video on this. Yeah, I would say that's like the biggest thing. But for me, like I was talking to someone the other day and I always in my business, it's like every mistake I make is just like never really a big deal. And it's always a good lesson. Like it's usually something I really needed to learn. And every time I'm like, actually, thank God I made that mistake because I have never made a mistake where I haven't been like, wow, I'm actually glad I made that mistake because I learned a big lesson. So it's hard for me to think of mistakes because I'm like, I've always reframed them into lessons pretty strongly. And I was talking to someone the other day and I was like, I think they were like an EMT for like an ambulance. And I was like,
Oh,
I always just say to myself, like, I've got friends who are in like a little high stakes jobs. I always just say to myself, it doesn't really matter if I make a mistake in business, like nobody dies. But like in your business, if you make a mistake, people actually die. And so, and so I'm like, I'm so lucky that like big mistakes in my business are just like not life threatening. Like
true.
maybe, like worst case, I might get a bit upset, might have to like
Mm,
apologize to someone. I
yeah.
mean, I've never even really had to do that, but
Mm,
like it's such low stakes. So that's a really nice thing about online business or like in this
mhm.
industry. It's like the mistakes are really not that brutal. So really thankful about that. And they're always good lessons. But yeah, hiring for me, that has like been a real challenge. And last year I made a couple of mistakes in hiring too quickly and not like putting the effort in to hire the right sort of people and like signing up to contracts that were expensive and the people just like not working out and wasting a lot of money on that. It was a big lesson, but it was like an expensive lesson. But then like I wouldn't have the team I have right now because of that. But that's like really the biggest stuff. Like there's no other like nothing else that really like comes to the top of my mind. Um, that has had repercussions like that. So I think I've been like pretty lucky. But also I just think like mistakes in our business are like pretty chill. What about you? I'd be interested to hear about what you think as your biggest mistakes.
I just had a thought and it went out of my mind, but it was good.
Oh, hope that
Oh,
comes
yeah.
back.
Okay, yeah. No, it came back. Okay, so this one, coming back to like the problems of being influenced by other people and other business owners. So back like years and years and years ago, there was like people who I admired and looked up to, and they were hiring really big teams. And I was like, oh, okay, as you get bigger and you grow your business, like you hire a big team and that's success or whatever. And so I mean, I didn't take it to the extreme or anything, but it's like I did hire like I think I hired like 3 people at once at one time. And also like having had that team for a while and then I realized it's like we're not like I didn't do the best job myself of figuring out like what do these people need to be doing. Coming back to like or no, that was on your episode, so it's not in this one. Like roles that bring money into your business and roles that are just like, doing the back end of the business and whatever.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, I think I like over it was still affordable and fine financially and everything, but I just realized it's like this actually isn't the business that I run. And I don't wanna like I already had a person, I hired 3 more at the same time or something. And I was like, no, I actually don't want to coordinate this like many people. And this isn't my version of success. And so I think it was like the being influenced by other people and the like, okay, and now when you grow business, you do this thing. And really not taking the time to question, is that what I want to do? So
That's a good one. That's a good
mhm,
one.
that's probably the biggest one. And then also masterminds that don't have an in-person aspect. I just realized for me are like not the thing. And also conferences for me, like big conferences, not such my thing either. I
Yeah.
like more like small retreaty type stuff
Yeah.
where
I
you can
really
like
need to get on the small retreaty type mastermind vibe. I
yeah,
keep saying that I'm gonna do that, but, like, I need to find one because like,
yeah.
I love traveling and working, but I don't do that because, like, I just travel with Neil and then we're, like, on holiday. But I do love a little, like, travel work situation. So that would be cool to like have a mastermind to do that. But yeah, I haven't
Oh,
really. I
join
feel like you're.
mine,
I feel
but
like you're. Yeah, it's literally on the other side of the world. I would
yeah,
just be so jet lagged the whole time.
that's true.
But I feel like you're good at like you're always seem to be in some sort of mastermind. I mean, you've been in the same one for a while, right?
I've been in the same
But
one
I
for a
feel like
real long time.
even before that, you were like always like in something. Whereas I just have. I don't think I've ever even joined a mastermind.
I think that's another thing though. That's actually coming back to mistakes. It's like that was something else, which I remember. It's like I had joined some like coaching program to help me learn how to launch a course like way back in the day. And then after that, I was like, oh, okay, like I need to be in something. I need to be, I don't know, just seemed like something you had to do. It was like, okay, you're in a business, you run a thing, you should have some like mentorship or something. And then I did something else and I was like, oh, actually, I didn't. What I actually need to spend money on was like like I know my strategy, I know where I want to go. I'm very clear on everything. Like there's nothing that this mentor can really help me. Like I don't have a problem for them to like advise me on or whatever. What I actually need is more help of operating the business and running the business. And I should have put that money there as opposed to like instead of putting the money above, put it below, if that makes sense. So
That's a good point. I feel like there's a lot of people that talk a lot about having mentors. I feel like a lot of big names are always like, oh, I always have a mentor.
mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I only have one when I feel like I need one. And then
Yeah.
other than that, I like don't really have any input.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I do, kind of like the whole education and reading and listening to podcasts and stuff, I'm like, when I want to learn something, I will buy the course, I will hire the
Yep.
mentor or whatever specifically for that thing. And
Mm-hmm.
I'll learn that specific thing and then I'll have a break from learning in
Yep.
general. Just like
It's
won't
true.
learn for a while. Yeah.
Well, amazing, Erica. Thank you so much. I so appreciate that we got to hang
I
out.
feel like we talked for so I can't believe
Yeah.
if someone actually makes it to the end of this.
You
Thanks,
made it
guys.
to the end of this. Put Erica with a hands up emoji in the comments to appreciate her for being here.
This is so easy. This is just like one of our normal chats, basically.
Yeah. Now, if you want to learn more about what Erica actually does and all of her genius, I have many, many, many videos with her, which we've done on the channel, a bit more talking about the actual like strategic, what she does in her work. She runs a highly successful Squarespace website template shop. If you would be interested in that topic, like to learn more, this video is massively popular that we did together. Would highly recommend watching that one next.